Shalom. All praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. Double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. Shalom to the sincere Akim across the world. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 21, titled Laws About Servants. Yeah, Hebrew slaves, right? Because there's a big controversy talking about, the Hebrews had slaves, so slavery was all right. That's what a lot of devils are saying. And devils, I mean the Edomites, which are the so-called Caucasian people from the Caucasus Mountains, the caves. You know, the holes in the giant rocks, the holes called caves in the giant rocks called mountains. Edomites. That's their biblical name. Now, Exodus 21 and 1, titled Laws About Servants. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. So it wasn't like straight up hardcore bondage. If you had a Hebrew servant, a man or a woman, it's going to explain also about women, then they would only work for you for 6 years. Okay, and then the 7th year they would go. So these cave monkeys, they was actually supposed to keep us for, if they was talking about they love the Bible, right? Well, it says right here you can only enslave a man for 6 years, and the 7th year you need to let him go, right? If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons and daughters. Wait, let me say this. If you come in by yourself, you go by yourself. If you come with your wife as a slave, you go with your wife as a Hebrew servant, which is a slave, a hired slave, actually. If his master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons and daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Right? Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, which is a regular door, or unto the doorpost, which is a regular doorpost. For example, this. Well, let me get this one then. This is the doorpost. This right here. We're gonna give an example. You know what it is, right? Ancient doorpost. Well, this is a post, a beam, right? Wood beam, right? And then you have the doorpost, so that's it, right? Okay, bring him onto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl. Now an awl is this. Basically, it is this. No, wait. This is what it is. Ice pick. This is it, a tool, an awl. That's what it is, an ice pick, right? You spell it with a W nowadays. And now it says, and he shall serve him forever, right? And then I got a little precept. Leviticus chapter 29 and 39. Leviticus 25 and 39. Yeah. Leviticus chapter 25 verse 39. And it has a subtitle, so I'll just read that one. I think. No, it doesn't. Okay, let me just go on. And if thy brother that dwelt by thee be waxen poor, and be sold unto thee, thou shalt not compel him to serve as a bond servant. Yeah, okay. So not hardcore slavery, not bounded, bond one, but as a hired servant, and and a sojourner, meaning a traveler, right? He shall be with thee, and shall serve thee unto the year of Jubilee, which is 7 years, the seventh. Or it depends on what state. Maybe you're in year 3, and then the year of Jubilee would come then, of course, in 7. Well, then you do that, right? So going on. And then shall he depart from thee, both he and his children with him, and shall return unto his own family, and unto the possession of his fathers shall he return. For they are my servant, which I brought forth of the land of Egypt, out of the land of Egypt. They shall not be sold as bondmen. Thou shalt not rule over him with rigor, but shall fear the Lord thy power. Now the word rigor is the quality of being extremely thorough and careful. No, severity and strictness. This is harsh and demanding conditions. So you cannot be harsh towards your Hebrew servant, and he is not your bond servant. He is your hired servant, and as a sojourner, basically a traveler. You treat him like a traveler with the respect and decency, and at the end, you let him go in the year of Jubilee. Both thy bondmen, here come the hardcore slavery, both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. And of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. Yeah. Only of a heathen can you can rule over them with rigor. Beat them up if you want to. Just do some cruel things to them, harshness. Right? Moreover, of the children of the strangers that do sojourn among you, of them shall ye buy, and of their families that are with you, which they begat in your land, if they get children in your land, and they shall be your possession. We get to own them. And ye shall take them as an inheritance for your children after you, to inherit them for a possession, that they may be your bondmen forever. But over your brethren, the children of Israel, the sons of Israel, and the daughters, of course, ye shall not rule one over another with rigor. There you have it. You cannot rule with an iron fist, basically, over your brethren, the Hebrew Israelites. Right? Deuteronomy 15 and 12. And if thy brother, a Hebrew man or a Hebrew woman, be sold unto thee, and serve thee 6 years, then in the 7th year thou shalt let him go free from thee. And when thou sendest him out free forth from thee, thou shalt not let him go away empty. So if you are a Hebrew, if you are the servant of a Hebrew, and you are a Hebrew Israelite yourself, and you are the servant of a Hebrew Israelite, after 6 years, he needs to let you go in the seventh, the beginning of the seventh. And he must not send you away empty neither. Just like no, not Lot. Just like Jacob, he served 7 years for Leah, and he served 7 years for Rachel, and he came out with great substances. He had a lot. He had a lot of cattle, materials, and stuff like that. Servants. 14. Thou shalt furnish him liberally out of thy flock, meaning freely. You shall furnish him. You know how you furnish a house, stuff it full with refrigerators, chairs, spoons, knives, glasses and stuff like that. And out of thy floor. Now the word floor, it goes back to the word where was it? 15 and 14. Yeah, here. Floor. Hebrew 16:37. Hebrew 16:37. Now it says got on. Threshing floor. If you click on threshing floor, a hard, level surface on which corn or other grains is threshed with a flail. Flail, right? This is the threshing floor. This is what a threshing floor, ancient threshing floor would look like. And then you could do this and stuff like that. And this is what we used to do. This is a threshing floor. Basically, you furnish him with food. You give him food too, right? And out of that, so it wasn't like what these cave monkeys did to us in slavery. It was not like that, because they was actually supposed to give us 40 acres and a mule. They didn't even do that. So they're gonna pay, and it's going to explain. I'll read it to you in the next chapter. These cave monkeys is gonna pay. They're gonna pay. These Edomites, these cave people, right? And out of thy winepress, meaning you'll furnish him with wine also, so that he can get merry. Of that wherewith the Lord thy power, Yahweh thy power, had blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him. Yeah, with everything that you have been blessed with, just give him. And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in the land of Egypt. Yeah, because we were slaves in Egypt. So that's why you cannot put hardcore slavery upon your brethren, because we ourselves went through hardcore slavery. And by the way, Deuteronomy chapter 15 and 12, subtitled, Hebrew slaves to be freed. That's what it says in my book. Forgot to read that. It was supposed to be read here. Verse 12. Okay. Yeah, and thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in the land of Egypt, and the Lord thy power, Yahweh thy power, redeemed thee, meaning bought you back. Redeemed. Therefore I command thee this thing today. And it shall be, if he say unto thee, I will not go away from thee, because he loveth thee and thine house, because he is well with thee, then thou shalt make an awl, and thrust it through his ear unto the door, and he shall be thy servant forever. And also unto thy maidservant thou shalt do likewise. Right? It shall not seem hard unto thee, it shouldn't be a hard thing, when thou sendest him away free from thee, for he had been worth a double hired servant to thee, and serving thee 6 years. And the Lord thy power, Yahweh thy power, shall bless thee in all that thou doest. Yeah, If he had served you 6 years, then you should let him go in the seventh, and the Lord shall bless you for that, and bless you with everything you do. But did these cave monkeys keep this rule? No, they did not. And they would say, well, they're the Hebrew Israelites and we are the heathen, and that's why they did hardcore slavery up on us. But that's not true, because we are the Hebrew Israelites and they are the heathen. You know, so also now back to now going on to Deuteronomy 24, Jeremiah chapter 34, verse, let me see if it has a subtitle. Well, it's about to get one though. Okay. Jeremiah 34 and 9. Let's start at 8. Damn it. Anyway, now it says Jeremiah chapter 34, verse 8. This is the word that came unto Jeremiah from the Lord. After that King Zedekiah, had made a covenant with all the people which were at Jerusalem, to proclaim liberty unto them. Liberty means freedom. Yeah, right here. The state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's behavior or political views. Basically freedom. That every man should let his manservant and every man his maidservant, being a Hebrew, so not the other ones. If you have heathen slaves, you don't have to let them go. Man, I dropped something right here. It's kind of irritating. Wait, I really want to get it. Yeah, whatever, dog. Yeah, so slack about that. I just don't want my marker to run dry with the wind blowing on it and stuff. I dropped the covering of the marker, pen, whatever thing. Yeah. So it says that every man should let his manservant and every man his maidservant, being in Hebrew or in Hebrus, go free, that none should serve himself of them, to wit, of the Jew his brother. Yeah. So yeah, not supposed to. They were supposed to, but Zedekiah, after King Zedekiah made a covenant, he made a covenant which is an agreement. An agreement. Right, and definition. An agreement. Agreed by lease deed or legal contract, right? So he made a covenant. Okay. Now, when all the princes and all the people which had entered into the covenant, so they all agreed, they all went along with the covenant, the agreement, heard that everyone should let his manservant and everyone his maidservant go free, that none should serve themselves of them any more, then they obeyed and let them go. So you made the deal. Okay, cool. But afterward they turned and caused the servants and the handmaids whom they had let go free to return, and brought them into subjection for servants and for handmaids. This basically, this is enforcement. This is stealing a servant, stealing a man and stealing a woman against their will. And this is also bondage. bondmen and bondwomen. These are not no hired servants no more. This is forcery. So you're forcing them basically into slavery. After you gave the agreement, our people, that then they would let them go, right? Therefore, the word of the Lord came, the word of the Most High Yahweh, came to Jeremiah from the Most High Yahweh, saying, Thus saith Yahweh, the power of Israel. I made a covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, At the end of 7 years, let ye go every man his brother, an Hebrew, which had been sold unto thee. And when he had served thee 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. But your fathers hearkened not unto me, neither inclined their ear. And ye were now turned, and had done right in my sight. Yeah, you did good. In proclaiming liberty every man to his neighbor. And ye had made me, and ye had made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Well, in that day it was just Yahweh, the Most High Yahweh, right? But ye turned and polluted my name. That's not a smart thing to do. And caused every man his servant, and every man his handmaid, whom he had set at liberty, at their pleasure. They was happy. Of course you're happy, you're free. You can do whatever, well, according to the scriptures, you can do whatever you want in the boundary of the laws, okay? It's not do what thou wilt. It's just being free. You don't have to work. You're not a slave. And it brings pleasure to your heart and soul, mind, you know? Yeah, whom he had set at liberty to their pleasure, to return, and brought them into subjection, to be unto you for servants and for handmaids. You shouldn't. Our people should not have done that. The prince, the king, and the prince, the king, Zedekiah, Zedekiah. I don't know how you pronounce it. In English, it's called Zedekiah. Zedekiah. Okay, cool. This is a quick precept. Ecclesiastes 5, verse 5. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow. Meaning a vow is, you're making a vow. It also goes into the contract or agreement, covenant, that thou, then that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Yeah. Don't make an agreement with the Heavenly Father and don't pay. That's why the Lord said in the book of Matthew, you should make no oaths and swear not. Because a vow, if I'm correct, is an oath, a solemn promise, solemnly promise to do a specific thing, dedicate to someone or something, especially a deity. Yeah, you vow to the Most High, and you better keep it. Is a vow a oath? What did I say? Is a vow the same as an oath? The discussion suggests that though oath, vow, and pledge are all promises, they have different focuses. An oath is in swearing in the presence of the Most High with regard to commitment one is making to one or more other people. Okay. As to tell the truth in the court, you're not supposed to even swear, because that's in the book of Matthew 5, and also the book of James 5 and 12 in James, and Matthew's, I forgot. You should look it up. It's Matthew's 5, I'm sure of that. I think it was verse 30 something or something. Okay, so it says here, They're different. Let me just look actually what it is. To you, fuck you. Fuck your opinion, bitch. I need a real thing. Yeah, here. Yeah, at least somebody took it out of the dictionary. Shit. According to me, shut the fuck up. A formal and serious promise to tell the truth. Okay. Pledge. A serious promise or agreement, a promise to give money. Okay. Yeah, that's a pledge. You're right. I do remember that one. Vow. A serious promise to do something or to behave in a certain way. Yeah. Okay. An oath is more of a swearing thing. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. Better is it that thou shouldest not vow than that thou shouldest vow and not pay. Suffer not thy mouth to cause thy flesh to sin, neither say thou before the angel that it was an error. Wherefore should the Most High be angry at thy voice, and destroy the work of thine hands? So basically, King Zedekiah, he proclaimed, he gave his word. Let's just use that word, okay? He gave his word that he would set the slaves free, but he went back on his word, and so did the princes. So this is what the Lord is going to do. I'm going on. This is verse 16, Jeremiah 34 and 16. This is Jeremiah 34 and 17. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, ye have not hearkened unto me in proclaiming liberty, every one to his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaim liberty for you, saith the Lord of hosts, the Most High Yahweh. To the sword. So, you didn't keep your word. I proclaim a word to you, and the Heavenly Father, he will keep his. He is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Right? I proclaim a liberty to you, saith the Lord, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. And I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. You see, we, our people, actually are, well, our nation, okay, let me put it down like that. Our nation, starting with Mr. Zedekiah over here and the princes, you know, the nobles of our nation, they didn't want to let our people go, basically. They were stubborn. They let them go, and then they saw, oh man, I can't do this work by myself. It's hard. I'm a softie. You know, I don't want to wake up and go fix my own tea. Shit. I had my servants do that for me. So now there was, you know, they had a taste of that good life. So now they got to do everything themselves, and now they bugged out crazy. They want them back. So they ended up chasing them. They're just like Pharaoh. He was like, shit, the Hebrews are gone. No more slaves. Let's go chase them. I want them back. They need to serve me. You know, basically something like that. Verse 18. And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, my agreement. You've broken my agreement, which is a sin. Don't go against your own word. If you proclaim it in front of Yahweh, right? Which have not performed the words of the covenant, which they had made before me. When they cut the calf in twain, they cut a calf in two, which basically is a ritual. They did a ritual. And passed between the parts thereof. So they cut a calf in two. I don't know how you draw a calf, but, you know, this is a calf. And then they cut them in two, you know, and then here was then the rest of the calf, whatever. Yep, yeah, that's the tail of the calf, whatever. Yeah, and then they cut and then they walked here through like the ritual. The princes of Judah and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs and the priests, and all the people of the land which pass between the parts of the calf. I will even give them, so you're gonna pay for your own sins. I will even give them into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life. And their dead bodies shall be for meat unto the fowls of heaven, and to the beasts of the earth. So they got killed and put in slavery. And eventually our whole nation got put into slavery, because if you read the book of Habakkuk, let me get that. Wasn't even planning on this one, but yeah. This just show you there were more wicked ones of us than there were righteous ones of us. The book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 1. The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Yahweh, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. Because our people were very violent towards each other. Why doest thou show me iniquity, and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention. There was always, looking for something, looking for a fight, looking for everything, just controversy, just nonsense. Just like you have nowadays. They just looking for something stupid to do or something stupid to say. For example, you walk the street. Look at this hair, look at this hair, look at this pants. Stupid shit. Oh, the nigga broke. And when you have money, that's who the fuck this nigga think he is. Nigga, just rob this nigga. And when you don't have money, broke ass nigga, you ain't shit, nigga. Just strife and contention, stupidity. Therefore, the law is slacked. Yeah, the law is not being upheld among our people. Back in those days of Habakkuk 2. And judgment do it never go forth. They don't judge upright. For the wicked do it compass about the righteous. There were more wicked Israelites than righteous. Basically, they surrounded the righteous, man. There were more in abundance than the righteous. Therefore, wrong judgment proceeded. Yeah, if you have a lot of liars in the witness stand and in the court system, in the government governing body of a society or a nation, whatever you want to call it, then wrong judgment shall proceed. For example, a female commits adultery, and then she divorces you. And then you have to pay half of your stuff. That's wrong judgment, man. First, she's supposed to be put to death. Okay, and if you don't do that, then she's definitely not supposed to be getting half. She's the one that went totally adultery on the man. I have seen a lot of cases like that, so I'll just use that for an example. So going on. And Zedekiah, king of Judah, and his princes will I give into the hand of their enemies, and into the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon's army, which are gone up from you. Behold, I will command, saith the Lord, and cause them to return to this city, and they shall fight against it, and take it, and burn it with fire. And I will make the cities of Judah a desolation without inhabitant. That's what the Heavenly Father had done unto us. Why? We didn't want to let the slaves go. That's why. our own people. After the 7 years, we didn't want to let them go. The wicked of our nation. Eventually, it was more wicked of our nation than righteous ones. So, the Most High sold us left and right. He sold us all because we were selling each other in wickedness. So when I'm reading on, Exodus chapter 21, verse 7. I'll start at 6 again. No, I'll just go at 7. You know what, 6? Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door and unto the post of the door. And unto the doorpost. And his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the man's servant do. Yeah. That's in verse 5. If it says, wait a minute. Verse 4. No. Salakia. Verse 2. If thou buy a Hebrew servant, 6 years he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. That doesn't count for the daughters of Israel, the women of Israel. In verse 7. And if a man sell his daughter to be a maidservant, she shall not go out as the man's servant do. If she please not her master, who had betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. Meaning, she needs to go back to where she comes from, the one that sold her, which is her father. Give her back to her family. Okay? To sell her unto a strange nation, he shall have no power. He may not sell her to a strange nation at all. He may not sell her at all. If he doesn't please her, he needs to give her back to her father, seeing he had dealt deceitfully with her. Yeah, you have dealt deceitfully with her then. If you don't want to know more or whatever, that's not something you should do. Right? Slacker. Yeah, going on. Now it says in verse 9, and if he have betrothed her unto his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. Yeah, that's why they call it daughter-in-law. According to the law, she is your daughter, and you treat her like your daughter too. That goes for any wife of your son. Any wife of your son. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, her clothing, and her duty of marriage, which is sex, shall he not diminish. And if he do not these 3 things unto her, then shall she go out free without money, so no child support. You don't even get the kids. You know? Let me get these scriptures quick. Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 15. If a man has 2 wives, wait, let me get that. Maybe it's a subtitle or something. And yes, according to the Bible, you are allowed to have multiple wives, but you need to take care of them. It says it right there. You need to take care of them. Where is it again? Here. You need to take care of her. You need to give her food, clothing, and you need to have plenty of sex with her. And if you don't do these 3 things, she can just go. Then she can leave. And she's not supposed to be lying. No, he doesn't do these things to me, because the Most High will get you. So, but then again, a lot of people are not scared of the Lord, so they will lie anyway. Here's a great example. Here it is, they made a covenant with the Lord, and they broke their covenant. And then the father said, you know what? I'll proclaim liberty to you now. I'll sell your ass in slavery. And I'll let you feel what they were feeling. Nigga. Plus, I'm gonna starve you to death. I'm gonna give you a lot of sicknesses. And I'm gonna kill you with the sword. That's your judgment. Good. Deuteronomy 21 and 15. If a man have two wives, one beloved and one hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he maketh his sons to inherit that which he had, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. The point of this, me reading this, is to show you that a man can have two wives, but it also shows you that there's no favoritism. If you have one, and this also shows you that back in the days you could have two wives and you hate one and you love the other. Like Jacob, he actually did not like Leah. He mistreated her, and he treated Rachel with favor. That's Genesis and okay, I forgot which one it was. You should check it out. Genesis 38 or something. I did a video about it. So just check the titles and stuff like that, and then you could read the name. Somewhere in Genesis 30 something like that. But it shows you that then Leah was hated and Rachel was beloved, and the Lord saw that that Leah was hated. Well, let me check it quick, right? Damn it. I don't have it still stable. So lucky about that. Yeah, Genesis 29. When the Lord saw that Leah was not loved, well, actually, he said was hated. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren. So if you do certain things like that, the Most High, he might close the womb of the one that you love the most, and then open the womb of the one that you hate, and she will get all the children. But you want to make a child with the one that you love, right? Well, that's not gonna. The point is, don't do that. You should set your emotions aside sometimes, for certain things, for righteousness' sake. Let's say it like that. Just try and be. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he had. For he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. Leviticus 18 and 8. The nakedness of thy father's wife shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness. Yeah. Meaning your father's second wife. Because your father's wife is supposed to be your mother, right? No. Your father could have multiple wives. Deuteronomy 22 and 30. A man shall not take his father's wife. Yes, his second wife, or third, or fourth. Nor discover his father's skirt. Yeah, if you laid down with your father's wife, you discovered her skirt. His skirt, which is his wife. 2 Samuel 5 and 13. And David, King David, took him more concubines, more women, and the concubines were the females of another nation. The Heavenly Father did not punish him for that, because he did not serve them. King Solomon, he started serving them concubines. It says he had 700 wives of the Hebrew Israelite daughters, women, Hebrew Israelite women, Hebrews, and he had then 300 concubines. Well, check this out. And David took him more concubines and wives out of Jerusalem, after he was come from Hebron, and there were yet sons and daughters born to David. Now, if you read the book of Judges, I think it was Jephthah. His mother was a concubine, but she was a whore. Jephthah. Yeah. That's it. Judges 11:1. It says now Jephthah, the Gileadite, was a mighty man of valor, and he was the son of an harlot, and Gilead begat Jephthah. Yeah, so that's it. His mother was a whore, prostitute, was a harlot. So it wasn't really like, he wanted to, not like she was gonna be like really his wife or something. She was basically a lesser wife, but she got pregnant. So, you know, okay, cool. Let's go on. Deuteronomy 24:1. When a man had taken a wife and married her, and it come to pass that she find no favor in his eyes, because he had found some uncleanness in her, then let him write a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house. And when she is departed out of his house, she may go and be another man's wife. And if the latter husband hate her, the second one, the later one, and write her a bill of divorcement, and give it in her hand, and send her out of his house, or if the latter husband die, which took her to be his wife, her former husband, the real one, the first one, which sent her away, may not take her again to be his wife. After that, she is defiled. Yes, she has been plowed now. She's been laid on her back. DC in the PC. The dribble in the dibble, whatever. For that is abomination before the Lord. So you're not supposed to take a girl that so-called cheated on you, committed adultery, what's so-called. She committed adultery, which is cheating on you. And then she goes lay with the guy, and then she comes back to you. You can't do that. We probably all did that, but probably, but we don't know. You don't know what these females are doing. You have no idea. Anyway, and thou shalt not cause the land to sin. So if you do that, you're sinning the land. You're destroying the land, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Yeah. It says here, die. I said they. Leviticus 19:29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. So you're not supposed to do that. You're going to destroy the land if you cause your daughter to be a slutty ass whore, basically. Meaning prostitute, as in taking money for dick in puss, or just being a goddamn hoe, as in slut. Right? Don't make her fall into whoredom. The land will fall into whoredom. Deuteronomy 19 and let me go back to here because it's done with that. All those precepts. Those are all precepts, by the way. Okay, now I'm going back. Exodus chapter 21:12, subtitled Laws About Murder and Strife. Okay. He that smiteth a man that he die shall be surely put to death. And if a man lie not in wait, meaning he wasn't snipering you, but the Most High delivered him into his hand, meaning you was just walking on the street and all of a sudden you met up with him, then I will appoint thee to a place whither he shall flee. So if you kill a man, but you was not lying in wait, you was just walking, but the Heavenly Father delivered him into your hands, like, hey, I'm gonna make you meet him that day. You just go to the marketplace, do your groceries, meet him up, and he dies. Then you should flee to a place and wait for judgment, right? But that's in another chapter, so I'm not gonna go and pin it. It's gonna take long. But if a man, Yahweh wrote this, I'm going to get there eventually. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor, presumptuously means this. Presumptuous. Of a person or their behavior, failing to observe the limits of what is permitted or appropriate. Presumptuous. Wait, let me see. Presumptuous. Going beyond what is right or proper. Excessively forward. Yeah. Characterized by or showing presumption or readiness to presume. I mean, you don't even know what the hell is going on. You just think. Excessively forward, an assumptuous person. You assume, presume, you assume, assumptive, yeah, whatever. Basically, you're not sure. Right? Arrogant, whatever, presumptuous, okay? But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor, to slay him with guile, being a demon, sly or cunning intelligence. And the Lord said, these are the people that shall make it in the kingdom. And Revelation 14 and 5. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne of the Most High. Let me get the whole chapter, by the way. Actually, Leviticus and Revelation, not Leviticus. Revelation 14. Revelation 14 and 1 Peter. It says 1 Peter 2 and 22. Who did no sin, neither was guile found in his mouth. That's Yahushai. Where's the one that I clicked on? Was it here? Yeah, it was here. Right. So it says, okay, check this out. Revelation 14 and 4. These are they which were not defiled with women. And this type of women means philosophies, right? Let me start here. Revelation 14 and 3. And they sung a song as it were a new song before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders. And no man could learn that song but the 144,000 which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women. And those women over there is talking about philosophies like Buddha, Islam, or whatever. Caesar Borgia's Christianity. For they are virgins, spiritual virgins. And the Lord said that I may present you unto the Lord as chaste virgins. Second Corinthians chapter 11 verse 2. It says in 2 Corinthians 11 and 2. For I am jealous over you with a godly jealous. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to Yahushai. So this is the book of Paul. Paul wrote 2 Corinthians. He was presenting us as a chaste virgin to Yahushai. You know a virgin is chaste. Everybody is chaste and a virgin. That's why every religion on the planet Earth says we accept everybody. We love all. But once you're in their midst, you will see that the most hatred all on religions have are dark skinned people, especially the so-called Negroes. Okay, you can twist and turn how you want. I'm just speaking the truth. It's a fact. Not even niggas like niggas. Not even they don't. Look at the black female. She hates your guts. But anyway, I don't give a shit about them. I know, like, hey, I'm more worried about the Most High than I'm worried about them. Yep. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth. Yeah, my sheep shall hear my voice. These were redeemed from among men. Basically they said, F the world. The love of the Father is not in them. Was it First John? No, it wasn't First John, right? I don't think so. Yes, it was. First John chapter 2 and 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, sex, the lust of the eyes, greed, the pride of life. Yo, man, I got these cars, man. I got these shoes, man. I got these rings, man. I'm bowling, play. I got that new technology, Palea. It's not of the Father, but it's of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. You're gonna die. So, even the pharaohs, they buried themselves. They buried themselves with all the gold. Where's the gold now? In a freaking museum where the cave monkey dwells. Whoopsie, all your gold is gone, nigga. Hamite. But he that doeth the will of Yahweh abideth forever. Yep, that's it. Now it says, these were redeemed from among men, being the first fruits unto Yahweh and unto the Lamb Yahushai. And in their mouth was found no guile. Jeremiah chapter 48, verse 10. Cursed be he that doeth the work of the Lord deceitfully. And this is in the time of war. And cursed be he that keepeth back his sword from blood. If you read the whole chapter, you will see that we was in the time of war. And when you're in the time of war and you keep your sword back from blood, from killing the other nations, you will be cursed. You need to remember that. So, once this come to pass, Isaiah chapter 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, slave descendants. We are the slave descendants, and we are preparing slaughter right now for the slave masters, their descendants, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. This is what the Lord said. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and will cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, all of you, the son, the nephew, and son and nephew, saith the Most High Yahweh. So, the modern day Babylon is America. So you're going to die. You cave people. The Lord said so. He's going to cut off the name. He's going to cut off the remnant of you. He's going to cut off your sons, your nephews. Everybody going to jail. Yep. And that jail is slavery. Revelations 13 and 9 and verse 10. So, yeah. And in their mouth was found no guile, for they are without fault before the throne. Before the throne of the Most High Yahweh. So let me read on. Right. Exodus chapter 21, verse 14. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor, to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar, that he may die. And he that smiteth his father or his mother, if you kill your father or your mother, shall be surely put to death. And he that stealeth a man, slaves, you stole us, from the west coast of Africa, from Spain, from Europe, certain parts of Europe, you stole us from around the world, and then you sold us into slavery, right? Okay. And he that selleth a man, and what? He that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. Until the Heavenly Father is going to slaughter you. Until this day, we are found in the hand of the cave monkeys, the Edomites, the devils from the caves. We are found in their hands. They stole us, they sold us, and unto this day, we are still found in their hand. If they was really nice people, they're not. They're the devil. They would buy us from the Africans, the Hamites, and then have us in their possession. And if they was really righteous people, they would just let us go for free. But they're not. They furthered the affliction for more than 200 years. And now nearly 400 years later, we are still in the midst of them. If they was really that good, why don't they buy us all a ticket and send us to where they found us? Or not found us, where they stole us. They're not going to do that. Because just like how these Israelites didn't want to let go of their slaves, they don't want to let us go too. Because if they do, they will have to do the work themselves. They're not gonna do that shit. You think they're stupid? They're extremely stupid, because because the Lord is gonna judge them. Oh, so you don't want to let them go? Okay, cool. I will multiply thy sins upon thyself. And the Lord said, I proclaim a liberty for you, saith the Lord, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. Wait a minute. That's what the Lord is going to do to you cave people. Because they said that they was going to give us 40 acres and a mule. So they promised us. They did not do that. They didn't do it. I'm looking for a scripture where it says in I think it was 31. All the what? And I will cause all the. Wait, let me get that, man. Curses. I will cause all the curses to come upon our enemy. Um, 232? 20? No. Wait a minute. It's supposed to be. I always seem to forget this scripture. I'm telling you, it's not funny. I always seem to lose this scripture. I don't know what to. Is it 33 and 5? Is it? Bastard. I didn't know who you are. What a joke, man. I know it's in Deuteronomy 30 something. Yes. Now it says Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. You have it now already. You have the so-called these gay females. They're fighting their men right now. They hate them. White men, the most dehumanizing insult of our times. I feel for the straight white men who are being silenced by probably a goddamn nigger female. Who would say some stupid shit like that? Feel sorry for a fucking cave monkey. Who would say something stupid like that? Yeah, whatever. I feel sorry for the straight cave monkeys who are being silenced by the mean girls of modern feminism. They fighting them. That is what happened with us. this is happening with them. You know, our females are, they straighten their hair. No, not 70% of them breast cancer. It says the 1929 girl must be tanned. It says 29% of white girls use tanning beds despite cancer risk. It's not 29, you pieces of shit. Check this out. It said white females account for almost 70% of tanning salon patents in whatever. White girls and women, particularly aged 16 to 29, make up for 70% of tanning salon. But you gotta understand, this is not an accurate number because that's not what they do. They round up about 100 people for just an example, or 1,000. I'm gonna keep it on 100 to make it easy for me to count. They round up about 100 people, and then if 10 of them do good on the test, and they say 10% of the people did this, and then 80% did that, and let's just keep it simple. 10% did this, and 90% did that, and then they're gonna calculate on how large that number would be if they would put, for example, 1,000 people, or 1,000,000, or 2.5, 0.3, or whatever, and they're coming up with a percentage. Have you ever seen a news poll? Look, check. If you have ever seen a news poll, you would see something like this in a news poll. They would say, veteran star Chris Wallace was the most impartial debate monitor. Okay, whatever. Then they would go around asking people on the street. First, the post-debate poll, Clinton wins. Okay, whatever. They would ask people on the street, what do you think? What do you think about him? What do you think about her? What do you think about him? And then off of those people, those fucking few random people that they asked on the street, they would calculate the whole freaking state. Even the whole country. Shit, that's what they do. So, this is not accurate. For example, this is not accurate neither. Neither, either, whatever. Now it says, North Carolina. 47% of, they say all people, but it's impossible because not everybody is voting. This is just 74% of the people that voted, and this is 40% of the people that voted for this guy. And this is 8% of, I don't even know what the hell is going on. Oh, Johnson, yeah, Johnson. And not available. So what do you mean it's not available? This shows you that this is not accurate. It's an estimation. This is presumptuous, you could say. They presume something. So yeah, there you have it. So let me just go on. So the Heavenly Father is going to do this to you cave people. So let me just round this one up, right? Because it's straightforward from here on down. Right now it says, where was I? 13. Right. And if a man lie not in wait, but the Most High delivered him, Exodus chapter 21 and 13, but the Most High delivered him into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither he shall flee. And then I go to, where is it? Deuteronomy chapter 19, verse 11. But if any man hate his neighbor, his brethren, and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally, that he die, and flee it into one of these cities, those refuge cities, which have been set up, then the leaders of his city shall send and fetch him thence, over there, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood. That might be one of his family members, his friends, whatever, that he may die. And I shall not pity him. Why? Because he laid in wait. You are not to lay in wait for an Hebrew Israelite. But a lot of our people are still doing it, and they need to be put to death. I just saw a video yesterday. I can grab it up right now, actually. I don't feel like it, because I don't have Instagram. It's on my phone. I got sent it. I'll try and put it in the description box if I remember it. But the point is this: the guy was just standing right there, and then all of a sudden, this nigga, he came from the shadows. It's like Spawn. He came from the shadow, and he hold the Glock. He held the Glock like that, right? And then it was like, I don't know, maybe 2 seconds instead of 3, and then he shot him in his head. Boom! His head splattered all over the place. He was all over the place. You know, all his thoughts everywhere. Anyway, thine eyes shall not pity him, but thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel. Yep, you laid in wait for that man. You cannot do that. That it may go well with thee. Yeah, you need to kill that guy, because it will go bad with you if you don't kill him, because he's a murderer. Now he's walking around, Cain. The spirit of Cain is on him, and you don't slay him. You need to kill his ass, but don't kill Cain. Let the Most High use him to punish us according to Psalms chapter 17. And when the time comes, we will be able to kill Cain then. We just waiting. So going on, verse. Yeah, I was already at 16. Yeah, so yep. So these cave people are supposed to be put to death, and they will. He shall surely be put to death for stealing us and selling us. And we are being found in their hand right now, right? And he that curseth his father, meaning you gonna put a hex on your father, okay, or his mother, shall surely be put to death. And if men strive together, and one man smite another with a stone, or with his fist, and he die not, but keepeth his bed, meaning you can say coma or whatever, or he just faint and he got knocked out cold and he's bedridden now. If he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be quit. Yeah, you're acquitted of the charges. Only he shall pay for the loss of his time. Yeah, every day that he laid down and couldn't work, you're gonna pay. And shall cause him to be thoroughly healed. Yeah, you're gonna make sure that you're gonna pay his medical bills. That's what you're supposed to do. And if a man smite his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, meaning after a day or two he just continues, walks on, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. Meaning that servant is your property. That's the way you make money. That's your servant. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, meaning pre-birth, I think it's called. meaning untimely birth, right? And yet no mischief follow, meaning no worse things have followed, no injuries or whatever. He shall be surely punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. And if any mischief follow, meaning if the child dies or something like that, not even premeditated. What's that thing called, man? Pre-birth, birth. What's pre-birth? What's it called, man? You know, pre-birth. I hope you know what I mean. Look, a child is supposed to stay 10 months in the womb, but you can have some kind of trouble, and then the child pops out at, well, let's see, instead of 10 months, the child pops out at 8 or whatever. The child can die. The child can die, and sometimes a lot of times the child does, but other times the child lives. Pre, I forgot what the name was, man. Pre-birth. It's not pre-birth. Untimely birth. That's what it is. Yeah. This is what it is. Untimely birth. Yep, that's the word I'm looking for. Untimely birth. Right. And if any mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life. Yeah, if the child dies, okay, then you gotta give a life for a life, brother. Eye for an eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. That's the payment. Which Yahushua said, and I'll get to that in another. Let me just say it right here. Yahushua said that this is not what we're supposed to be doing right now. We're in the time of grace right now, grace. But that does not mean that you could just openly sin, according to Romans chapter 6, verse 14 and verse 15. Read the whole chapter, you're going to find out. It doesn't mean that sin is, you can just freely sin now. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you're not gonna be put to death instantly for doing something stupid. You're gonna get judged though, But there's more space for repentance. And if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, make him blind, he shall let him go for his eyes' sake. And if he smite out his manservant tooth or his maidservant tooth, he shall let him go for his tooth's sake. If an ox gore a man, wait a minute, Deuteronomy 24 and 7, I forgot that one. Yeah, it was here. This goes with Exodus 21 and 16. Deuteronomy 24 and 7. If a man be found stealing any of his brethren of the children of Israel, and maketh merchandise of him, and selleth him, then that thief shall die, and thou shalt put away evil from among you. So, even the Hebrew Israelites, if you are caught stealing a man and selling him, you need to be put to death. And this goes also for Esau, the devil, these cave people that stole us and sold us and still have us in their hand until this day. And the Heavenly Father will put your ass to death. He's just waiting for your sins to reach onto heaven so you can smack your ass down like Satan, falling from his grace. You beast. Cave beast. 28. If an ox gore a man or a woman, that they die, then the ox shall be surely stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox shall be quit. He shall be acquitted, basically. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn in past time, meaning if your ox was already a kind of dangerous animal and he already gored people and was trying to beat people up, this means gore, by the way. Blood that has been shed, especially as a result of violence. This type of shit. Gore. And then you have Al Gore. Now you know what his name is. Blood. And guess what? He's a fucking blood drinker. Al Gore addicted to blood? Yes, he is. That's his name, Gore. Some gruesome beast. Fucking devils. This is what they do. Think it's a joke? You think evil people don't exist? What about the people that was trying to murder the Lord and the prophets? So clearly there must be some evil on the planet Earth. Even within the nation of Jacob, which are the so-called Negros, Latinos, and Indianos. The Lord said, among my people are found wicked men. Jeremiah chapter 5 verse 26. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay in wait. You're not supposed to do that. As he that setteth snares, they set a trap. They catch men. They trick you in all type of abominations, man. Whether it be tricky for your money, whether it be tricky for your life, as in murdering you for robbery or whatever, tricky for your wife. There's a lot of wicked ass, snake ass negroids, man. The Latinos and Native Americans too. You know, bunch of demonic ass niggas. All y'all some niggas. Every single one of you. Right. But if the ox were wont to push with his horn in time past, and it had been testified to his owner, so that he had been told, and he had not kept him in, but that he killeth a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death. Is your fault. If there be laid him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him. And if he doesn't, your ass going to jail. Spiritual jail. You're gonna die. Whether he have gored a son or have gored a daughter, according to this judgment shall it be done unto him. If the ox push a manservant, gore him, by the way, or a maidservant, he shall give unto their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit, and not cover it, after that he had dug it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, an ass is a donkey, the owner of the pit shall make it good, and give money unto the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. Here you can have it. It's dead. And if one man's ox hurt another's, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead ox also they shall divide. Or if it be known that the ox had used to push in past time, right? If he is known to like attack other beasts and other people or whatever, but in this case other beasts, and his owner had not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own. Here you can have it. So with that, I'm going to say, all praises go to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, double honors unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone for the teachings of the scriptures, among other things. And shalom to the sincere Akim across the world doing his work in sincerity and in truth. So with that, I'm going to say shalom.